Good evening, traders. Today is Sunday. This is the watch list for next week. I'm just going to go over some stocks, some levels that we need to keep a look at. First one I'm looking at is GILD, Gilead Sciences. Remember, they beat earnings back here in late October, early November, and they ran the thing all the way up to 40.37 before we encountered some supply, and we sold off. We broke this uptrend that we had, and now we've just been consolidating. Now we closed above the 20-day moving average on Friday, and we're approaching the 50 right now, which is around 37.80. So we definitely have a section of all these moving averages. It's a little congested right here, but I feel that if we could break out over this, and all it takes is one strong day to get us over this 38.5, and that's right around the 200-day moving average. So if we could hold there, there's a good chance we're going to run up and retest this 40.73, the previous high we put in after earnings. So the stock fundamentals are strong on this, and now we're just looking for a technical breakout. And we still have this rising uptrend dating back from the September lows, and that was some major demand buying on that around the 32 level. Next, we're looking at ACAM, Akamai Technologies. This chart looks alright. It definitely has some nice trading swings in this, so I am a fan of day trading this in the afternoon session. Now the morning session, there's usually a large spread on it, and if you trade the first 30 minutes of this, I wouldn't suggest it. It's very erratic. It's not very liquid during them times, but in the afternoon, after the trend's already developed, it looks pretty good. And we have a rising uptrend, and this could be a potential head and shoulders right here. Depends how far this goes down. But it looks like we could sell down if we get below the 50 or the 20-day moving average, which is the green line right here tomorrow. We're going to look for the 50 to be some support, and then eventually the 48.62 level, which is right where the uptrend ends at. And then, I mean, we do have some support levels in here, so I'm not looking for a very intense sell-off in this. If it was going to happen, it would be slowly. But we're definitely going to be day trading this next week. Now I'm looking at Apollo Group, and when we gapped down this huge gap right here, we ended up at 39. That was the main level, and I'm going to have to switch to an intraday chart to show you what happened on Friday. We had this huge burst of buying. Pretty much the whole day was nothing but consolidation, and then they just rammed this thing higher, almost to the 39 level, which was the level that we need to get over in order for us to move up to the 41.44 low that we put in July. I'm going to switch to a 3-month chart right here. And you see the 50 is right at this 39 level. So what happened is when we sold off even lower, we put in this low right here, and then we couldn't get and hold above 39. So the sellers came in, they took it down. We had this tight little downtrend going on here, and then right after we approached this 34 level, there was some intense buying on increasing volume. So what we're looking for now is to hold over 39. I'm pretty sure, even if we consolidate back to the 20-day moving average, which we're holding above around this 35.75 level, I believe that that will be a buying opportunity, and it will be a low risk trade, because overall I'm pretty sure this thing's going to hit 41.50 within the next month and a half, 2 months. I currently am waiting to buy calls on this. Next week it could explode over the 39, and if it does do that, that's when I'll look to enter my position, because it will then be a technical breakout. Rig. Now this one's my baby girl right here. It made that higher high that I was talking about in my video. I think I put it out a week and a half ago, right during this congestion area, which was bought up. It was the uptrend. They still held that uptrend, and now that we're holding above the previous high we put in, it looks like there's a good chance we could break out next week. I saw there was some buying intraday on Rig on Friday. So if we could hold over this level, I think we're headed back up to 75.36, which was the gap down that we had before the selling right around the same time the BP oil spill happened. Western Digital. And this thing isn't the fastest moving stock, but it's very strong and it has very strong fundamentals. We put in that low right here in August around 23.5, and they bought it up, and we've just been in a solid uptrend. They tried to get past it here, but then the bulls gained control, got it back above the 32.49 level and the uptrend, and now we're still holding it intact. And we got through all this congestion. Remember, this looks just like the Gilead, and I'm looking for the same scenario to happen. We're holding over this previous high we put in around the 35 level, so we're just going to have to keep marking our resistance plays on the way up and start finding levels. But there's a good chance that WDC will continue to rise. Looking at Abercrombie and Fitch right now, we've had a massive move in this, just like all the other stocks, but this one bottomed out around July. And we have this huge uptrend going on right now. So the next thing we're going to look for is if we hold below this 57 level, which was right around where we put the highs in. The chart looks kind of bearish here. If we hold below Thursday's high, I think that some more selling could come through. A couple of other retailers had some selling, so I'm assuming that this is a technical breakdown, and some people are lightening up on their position since the RTH had such a strong move on the back of Cyber Monday and Black Friday for a lot of these retail stocks. So if we move down, we're going to look for the bottom of the gap around 53.82 to be filled. And then if we just get below this, maybe pull back and then go down, then we're going to look from where we did gap up for 51.50 as our next support level. So Abercrombie, we're going to keep a close eye on this next week as well. Now we're looking at CRE. What can I say? It's had a massive move. Just like RIM had a nice move, but CRE has been outperforming its peers. Right after we were watching this downtrend right here dating back from the high of April before the flash crash, and right when we broke out of it, that's when it was a good time to get long CRE. Now if we could hold over 71.32, I think the next level is 76.12 that's going to be pierced. Looking at an intraday time frame right here, and you see this blue line, this is that downtrend that's dating back. It's very powerful, and every time we approached it, we bounced right off. And after that, when we held above the 68.82, that was a buy all the way, and you saw the 20 moving average move above the 50. That was another bullish divergence, and we've just continued up. So the next level is 71.32 needs to be held in order for us to make a higher move on CRE. Now I'm looking at LVS, and you guys know that I caught this almost this entire move right here, right when we broke and gapped up and everything. It was just very strong. And then I also almost caught the top right here at this 55 level, and that's when they started selling it, and then some buyers came back in, but then we put in the lower high, which made the trend bearish. Now they came out, I believe it was Friday, with some news saying that they're going to try to put in a bill that limits online poker and gambling and stuff, so that helped out the stock partially, but as you can see, we finished off around lows at 45.35, so it's clear that the bears have control of the stock. Now the next level we've been looking for this to approach the 44.20 level, and that's right around where the 50-day moving average is, and then eventually feel the low of the gap up, which is at 43.70. We're going to see how this takes place. If the bears do keep it strong and keep shorting this thing hard, we could leak all the way down eventually to where the gap originally happened around 41. So the trend overall still is bearish on LVS until we get some technical levels approached and see some demand. Looking at me here, Massey Energy, we haven't got any takeover chatter last week, but that doesn't mean it won't happen this week. Technically, it looks like it's going to break out right here, and we're going to watch this for a long next week to approach this high around this 54.5 level. MHS has had a wicked move up off the lows around the 44 area, actually 43.5, back in the early parts of September, and we've just been going up. This was actually one of the stocks that I caught the absolute bottom of, but my scared self sold it right here around 47, and I missed out on another 15 points. But I'm not going to talk about my losing trades. Let's focus on the future. We had this huge downtrend, and when we broke out of it right here and got over the 200 EMA and the 200 simple, we became very bullish. So right now the 20-day moving average is right around this 61.39 low that we put in back in March. So I'm not very bullish on this. I mean, we could continue going up to 65 level. Maybe that will happen. But right now it's in my middle, which means I'm neutral on this stock. If we do start going down, I'm going to look to fill the 61.39 level and I'll short it. But if we break above Thursday's highs, I definitely see 65 in the cards for us. Looking at RRC range resources right here. I actually like day trading this stock. We still have an uptrend, but short term we broke a downtrend, and now the 20-day moving average is turned down. But the support that we met was at the 200 EMA, and we bounced right off that. Now we're trying to hold above the 200 simple, which is at 42.45. If we get a close below that tomorrow, I think the 200 EMA will be tested once again, and then we'll try to head down to these lows around the 40.50 level. But I'm probably going to be looking for a bounce in RRC this week for a day trade. I'm not investing in this stock because it does look slightly bearish, but keep this on your radar for a bounce on a day trade time frame. And I can't leave out good old X, and X is at actually some resistance right here, but technically it looks like it's going to break out. Moving averages are all bullish. We ran up over the 200, and last week the steals were my favorite sector. They outperformed, and X looks like it's going to break out once again. We got to get over this high around this 54.5 level, but I think it could go up. And another one I'll pull up real quick while I'm at it is AKS, because I think AKS should approach 15 fairly quick, and it's right around where the 200 EMA is. One of the stocks that I didn't let you guys know about, I completely forgot about it, but it was this OCLR. Right after we made this huge gap down, I was pretty confident that we were going to fill it, and I actually had a buy over 10.25 on this stock. So right now what I'm thinking is that there is a chance, since we right around the 200-day moving average, that we could get over this 13 level, or at least come up to it maybe this week, and then get some selling. But right now the trend is bullish. It's a bullish breakout. Most of the money's not made during the consolidation, but during the breakout. So there's a good chance that this thing could head up again tomorrow and fill this gap. That's the bullish scenario. The bearish scenario would be they sell it down tomorrow or the earlier parts of this week. They hold it below the 200-day moving average, and then we start headed down again and maybe get to this 1150 level. Looking at ARW right now, Arrow Electronics, and this thing's another one that had a massive move. Went from 22.5 right here in September all the way up to 35, and that's a big move for a stock like this. So right now the 20 is still ascending, but I'm slightly bearish on this. You see we continue making lower lows on the daily time frame. So if we continue down, we're just going to keep setting proper alerts on this stock and shorten it all the way down to this 32.51, which was the high of the peak in April. So this is just one that we have on our bear list. And then we'll pull up SanDisk. I'm not bearish on this, it's on my list, but just look, like I said, this is another technical breakout, just like the OCLR. The move isn't made in here, but what you have to look at SanDisk is say, once we went down and the people thought the bears took control, but they ran it right back up, and then the next day we ran up, that's a bullish trend. So right now we're looking for this level, this price level at 50.55 to be approached. So short-term bullish on SanDisk. And that's about all I have for you guys. I'm going to put some videos out next week. Good luck trading. Send me a message if you have any questions or comments. Thank you.